Amazon just got caught on the record telling Levi's and Hanes to raise prices on Walmart and Target. New 50% steel tariffs hit this month. A 100% pharmaceutical tariff is coming this summer. And Amazon FBA fees just got 3.5% more expensive. Today's roundup is a rough one for operators. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Trevor here with Ecommerce Paradise. Today, we're covering 8 stories from the last few days that every operator needs to be tracking. If this kind of daily breakdown is useful, hit subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's roundup. The full write-up with every source link is in the blog at ecommerceparadise.com. Link is in the description. All right, story number 1. The biggest marketplace story of the month is the California Attorney General case against Amazon. On April 20th, Attorney General Rob Bonta got a court to unseal a preliminary injunction filing. The unredacted version is now in the public record and is brutal for Amazon. The unsealed emails show Amazon sending Levi's a link to khaki pants priced at $25.47 to $26.99 on Walmart. Amazon said, quote, hoping these can get resolved over the next few days. The very next day, Levi's reported back that Walmart had agreed to take the price up to $29.99. Same playbook with Hanes on Target and Walmart, and with a pet brand called Global One on Chewy. The trial is set for 2027, but the precedent that internal pricing emails can be fully unsealed already changes how every marketplace will write internal communications going forward. If you sell on multiple marketplaces, you felt this pressure even if you didn't see it. Now you know why. Story number 2. New Section 232 tariffs took effect on April 6th. 50% duty on steel, aluminum, and copper articles and derivatives. And here's the change that matters. The duty applies to the full entered value of the import, regardless of metal content. You used to be able to split out the metal value and pay duty on just that. Not anymore. A separate 100% tariff on patented pharmaceuticals starts July 31st for 17 named drug companies, September 29th for everyone else. If you sell anything in home goods, outdoor, automotive, marine, or fitness niches, your supplier costs are about to move. You need to be on the phone with your top 3 suppliers this week. Ask them straight up, how much of your product is impacted? What's the timeline for passing through costs? And are they absorbing any of it? Then update your landed cost spreadsheet today. Story 3. Amazon FBA added a 3.5% fuel and logistics surcharge on April 17th. It hits FBA fulfillment fees in the US and Canada, plus remote fulfillment to Mexico and Brazil. On May 2nd, it also starts hitting Buy with Prime and multi-channel fulfillment. On average, that's about 17 cents per unit for FBA in the US. Sounds small. Run the math on 5,000 units a month, and that's another $10,200 a year just on this surcharge. That's on top of the FBA fee charge Amazon already has changed and pushed earlier in the year, plus the new aged inventory surcharge that replaced the long-term storage fees. If your gross margin is under 35%, Amazon FBA is your primary channel, the math is getting tight. Pull your SKUs and recalculate this week. Story 4. Some good news in the mix. Walmart Marketplace is up 20% year over year. Home, hardlines, and fashion are growing over 30%. Walmart's CFO said this week the marketplace is the vehicle for general merchandise expansion. 3 times more sellers during the holidays than the prior year, roughly 500 million items listed, 180 million monthly unique visitors. Effective April 14th, Walmart also rewrote its seller performance standards. The refund rate is gone. In its place, Walmart now requires a 99% valid tracking rate, 99% on-time delivery, cancellation rate under 2%, seller response rate at least 95%, negative feedback under 2%. Drop below those for too long and you get suspended. This is the diversification opportunity I've been telling clients about over a year. If your business is 80% Amazon dependent, Walmart Marketplace is the obvious second channel right now. Less competition in high ticket categories, customer base SKUs, older and more affluent. Discovery for a new SKU is way better than Amazon. Quick break, look. Between the Section 232 tariffs, the FBA fuel surcharge, the EU's €3 duty hitting in July, and the constant marketplace fee changes, the only way you actually know if you're still profitable is having real-time books that account for landed costs on every SKU. I run Finaloop on every store I touch. It's built specifically for e-commerce, pulls automatically from Shopify, Amazon, Stripe, PayPal, and your bank. Way better than QuickBooks for this niche. Link is in the description, ecommerceparadise.com/Finaloop. Back to the news. Story 5. eBay's ban on AI buy for me agents is now fully in effect. The robots.txt policy says it plain. Quote, automated scraping, buy for me agents, LLM-driven bots, or any end-to-end flow that attempts to place orders without human review is strictly prohibited, end quote. eBay does allow approved AI partners. Google Shopping Bot is one of them, but you have to be a formal partner. No third-party agentic checkout. Meanwhile, eBay is investing in its own agentic e-commerce experience. The pattern is clear across every major marketplace. Amazon, Shopify, they all want to control the agentic surface, not let third-party agents skim the layer between buyer and merchant. If any portion of your traffic is coming from AI shopping agents, and it probably is, start tracking the source today. Agentic commerce is the next platform fight. Story 6. TikTok Shop tripled its security deposit for cross-border sellers. The POP security deposit went from $500 to $1,500 on December 15th of last year. Existing cross-border merchants had until January 14th to top up. Sellers who didn't comply are getting hit with listing and sales restrictions right now. This sits alongside the broader crackdown on dropshipping. Stricter policies prioritize U.S. shipping in 3 to 5 days, verified suppliers, higher quality content. The era of cross-border arbitrage or cheap China-shipped goods on TikTok Shop is over. If you're looking at TikTok Shop in 2026, the model that works is high-quality content tied to U.S. warehoused inventory and a real brand, not a thrown-together storefront. The $1,500 deposit alone filters out the operators who weren't serious. Story 7. The European Union's entry-exit system went fully operational on April 10th, and it immediately broke airport border control. 3-hour queues, passengers missing flights. Euronews called it, quote, a systemic failure, end quote. But that's the rollout pain. The bigger story for our audience is what it means going forward. The system replaces passport stamping with biometric tracking for every non-EU traveler entering Schengen for short stays. For digital nomads and e-commerce operators who travel, this is the end of the gray area era. The old game of doing remote work on a tourist visa, hopping out before the 90-day window, not worrying about the math because stamps were inconsistent, that's over. The system knows exactly when you entered, exactly when you have to leave. Overstays get flagged automatically and can result in entry bans for future trips. If you live the location-independent lifestyle, you need a real visa strategy now. Story 8. Italy formalized its digital nomad visa this month. A joint ministerial decree entrenched the visa in Article 27, quarter of the Immigration Code. Dedicated consular channel. Income thresholds aligned with Social Security schedules. On April 20th, Italy also clarified family reunification rights. You can bring a spouse and dependent children on derivative status. That's a real difference from many other nomad visas where the family math doesn't work. The requirements are reasonable for any successful operator. 28,000 euros in annual income, comprehensive health insurance, remote work contract with clients outside Italy. For e-commerce operators, Italy is interesting because it's a tier 1 EU country with a real economy and reasonable tax treatment under the right structure. Not a tax haven, but a legitimate place to base yourself for a year or two while you scale a store. Step back, look at the pattern across all 8 stories. Every major platform is either passing more cost onto sellers, tightening performance standards, or controlling the agentic surface. Every major government is either layering on tariffs, tightening borders, or formalizing rules that used to be loose. The gray areas are closing on every front. If your business model in 2024 worked because you were exploiting a loose policy somewhere, the same model probably won't work in 2027. The operators who professionalize in the next 6 months keep growing. The ones who don't get squeezed out. If you're running a high-ticket store right now and you don't have a strategy for adapting to all of this, it's exactly what my coaching is for. Go to ecommerceparadise.com/coaching and book a call. We'll go through your store, your margins, your supplier mix, and figure out where you're bleeding. The full write-up with every source link is on the blog, link in the description. Subscribe for daily e-commerce news. See you guys tomorrow.